NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. After a thriller yesterday, Tennessee and Arkansas meeting in Game 2 of the best-of-3 series. The winner heads to Omaha to continue a trek towards a national championship. Arkansas, the top-seeded team remaining, and the Razorbacks got elite pitching and great power hitting yesterday as they look to go to Omaha for the 12th time in school history, and Tennessee trying to defend its national championship. The Volunteers need a Ole Miss, and this year for Tennessee have not gone well. And he plunks Davalon on a 2-2.
That hit the knob, didn't it?
That's what Tony Vitello believes.
Yeah, it's
Eva Loy has a couple of home runs in the postseason. Pops this one up sky high. It's Fisher in front of the Arkansas dugout. And a late adjustment for the first out. And you saw, by the way, Tennessee catcher Cannon Peebles take off. He faces Logan Maxwell here with one on and one out. And Maxwell sends it into the jet stream in left field. Dalton Bargo has space and hauls it in. Wind about the same as it was yesterday. 2 down now. Davalon was hit by a pitch to start this game.
And then that time 0-2, I mean, essentially a pitch out. It's a fastball away to try to give you a shot to pick the runner off.
They had a couple of those called with Marcus Phillips on the mound yesterday, too. Helfrich goes down swinging at 97. And so Doyle, who's second in the country in
this season.
Keelan was 0 for 3 yesterday. And this one's lifted towards left. Charles Davalon has plenty of space.
We'll see if they turn him loose here.
He can hit a fastball as good as anybody. That one was up. It's a 4-pitch walk. And Fisher is aboard here in the opening frame with Hunter Ensley.
It's the carry of it is the biggest thing. And like Berkey was talking about, the combination with the overhand breaking ball that really plays well back and forth.
And he sends this one to center field, pushing Justin Thomas Jr. shy of the track. And now on to the cinders, or just short.
It's certainly in the top 100 picks.
1 on and 2 out. Here's a 2-2 from Gage Wood. And the curveball is sent in the air to left field. A broken bat. How often do you see that? The bat ends up at second base. Aloy handled. Vahiva has hit 13 home runs and an SEC best 69 RBI. And he sends a pop-up to the right side. Fisher in foul ground, called off, and the wind really pushing. World Series, he said, almost every year growing up in Omaha. And, of course, with his dad working it. And he grew up in that AAA Royals clubhouse. And a line drive to right field. Kojel's got a knock. 99 or higher have come from these two pitching staffs. And Doyle certainly has contributed. That one sails to the backstop at 98. And Iredale will advance on the wild pitch.
The bullpen. He just ran down there. Had his spikes on, and if it was close, was determined to be in the game. Got the final outs to make sure Tennessee advanced.
Here's the payoff to Iredale.
You could tell Doyle wanted that one. Robinette, that is a really tough pitch to pull the trigger on left.
Runner at second and 2 down, and Robinette goes down swinging a 98. A couple of home runs this postseason of his 5 hits. And he chops this one to third. Here's Iredale. He's started all but one game at third. Well, let's dig into the particulars on the shot. Well, Doyle isn't the only one in a Tennessee uniform taking his time. Chapman with a walk around the batter's box. Here's the payoff. And the curveball's lifted to left field. Davalon only has to move a couple of steps.
It's like you see it sometimes. I think it makes it even more important for him to land the breaking ball more often in this game.
Back-to-back breaking balls to Clark. Room service hot for Aloy. And a 1-2-3 frame worked by Arkansas's Gage Wood. He was was all state in football. He was rated the number 4 outfielder in the state of Georgia. And he takes a 5-pitch walk. Second time Doyle has put the leadoff man on, once via hit by pitch.
Again, it's the fact they were able to get 11 hits just tells you how sharp that offense was that day.
KP mentioned the misses. He hit Davalon, and Davalon hits this deep to right field. It is long gone in a hurry. Upper deck shot for Chuck Davalon. 2-0 Hogs.
Lefties. I mean, what are we doing? This kid just continues to impress. Yesterday, the game winner was off a left-hander.
And that one finds a hole on the left side. A walk, a home run, and now a single. Let's take another look at that home run.
Come on now, Chucky D. Give the people what they want. Sitting on a heater and gets one in or third. And you talk about leaning back on one, a no-doubter that puts a dent in Dave Van Horn's office window, and that will bring them to their feet. It's been a little slow here early on, but
straight up the middle.
I would say the spray chart must be pretty clear with where Logan Maxwell hits his grounders. And I think part of it, too, is being in a position to turn a double play if you get the opportunity.
Tennessee turned 2 yesterday. They were huge plays as Maxwell goes down swinging.
Mistakes, and I think sometimes the second time around we can make too much of the experience. But there is some familiarity. It's not nothing, but just how drastic Aloy was going to be able to move his body there that suddenly.
Big brother at first, little brother at the plate, and the at-bat continues. And it's lifted to center field. Ensley on a dead sprint, and he makes.
We all do it.
Yeah,
I know. Offensively, the leadoff man on obviously didn't happen yesterday. Hasn't happened yet today.
There you go.
I love you so much, KP.
Speak it right into existence. That's the way this world works. But approach against Gage.
Yeah, well, I think even different from game 1 yesterday. Anytime it's a one-run game and you make some pitching changes, you'd always wish you could change it up a little bit. But I think this one is just go to who you think the next best guy is. Maybe not as much matchup stuff.
First time runner in scoring position this series for Tennessee, and back to the top of the order, and Gavin Keelan. And Keelan serves one into left field. Aggressive approach, 3 straight hits. And the Volunteers have loaded the bases here in the third. And the breaking ball hit on the ground to the right side. Koljul goes to Aloy for one. Back to first. And a 4-6-3. Tennessee scratches a run across, but one of the best defensive teams in the country shows. And Ensley swings at the breaking ball into center for Justin Thomas Jr. Oh, nearly taken over by Dallas.
They rough you up your senior year.
Sing-eye single for Koljul. Sounds like he's still not over.
No, I think we got him.
Did you carve him up?
I don't remember.
I'd say yes. Things get
into right field. Chapman.
Things get a little predictable, right? And you get a miss right there because the fastball does have so much life. But, you know, it only takes a couple big swings.
Mound, and Krenzel is in front of him. And another sing-eye single as Robinette picks up just his 3rd hit against the lefty this season by taking it through the right side.
Used to seeing. The problem is he hasn't been in too many of these counts.
0-2 to the 9-hole. And he blows it by him at 97. 6K for Doyle, 2 down. 2 aboard and 2 out. And that's one gets all the way to the backstop. It allows Koljul to move to third and Robinette to follow him to second on the wild pitch.
You cannot back in that ball. You can't. And from a catching standpoint, when you call a breaking ball, the expectation of the miss is going to be down. And I understand that he tugged it a little bit, This is where the one knee piece sometimes gets a little bit different going to that side, but that's just taking a big chance. You go backhanded. If you don't catch it cleanly, it goes off the side of the glove. Everybody advances 90 feet like they did right there.
And now an intentional walk to Davalon will load the bases for Gahiva Aloy, and that'll be the end of the line for Doyle, who is not happy. And the third one gets away from Peebles and allows another run to score. Second wild pitch this inning, one from Doyle and now one from. And now the 2-2. And hit him. And now the advantage that Tennessee had. Paired double plays. Fly ball left field deep. Bargo back. Track. Wall. Gone! Grand slam, Logan Maxwell! And the Hogs have busted this thing wide open in the fourth. They're calling the Hogs in rounds. To right. Chapman.
Well, that'll change things a little bit. We talked about this Hogs offense, how they can score them in bunches. This is not a terrible pitch. Elevated 98. It's just a really good swing. Logan Maxwell goes deep.
From Peebles, a run scores. You throw a loose breaking ball that hits Aloy, and then a couple pitches later, which you got to give Maxwell credit, he laid off an 0-2 changeup that was just off the corner, and then KP, you said it, he hit a fastball that was up and
In the air, shallow left. Charles Davalon on his horse. One down. And that one gets right through the wickets on Ryder Helfrich and allows Bargo to advance to second.
you don't see that.
I would think, as this ball forward, that is a huge advantage for Arkansas catchers once they get into pro ball.
I would completely agree with that. And it's also impressive that Matt Hobbs, one of the most accomplished pitching coaches in the country.
Runners on the moves. Well, they started, and it was a swing and a miss. And that'll do it for Clark.
So to that point, Gibbler's best pitch is his slider. It is against righties or lefties. And
After a 5-run fourth for the Hogs.
And a tapper to Kojal. He'll take it himself, and he wins that race. No runs, no hits, a couple of walks, and all they did was get stranded. 7-1. Earlier this season, great podcast about Arkansas baseball and other sports, and he was talking about his golfing prowess. Flies out to center. Actually, his older brother was bragging on him. He drives a golf ball 400. Could say that about like 8 other guys in this lineup.
And they've moved him all over the lineup this year, too. It's happened for a lot of these guys. We always talk about Arkansas's pitching. What we haven't talked about.
There goes the runner. And a punch out. And a throw down to second was late. They say an interference on Iredale, and the base runner will be out as well, and that'll bring Dave Van Horn out for an explanation. And that will end the inning. Kojal was running, looked like he would have been safe with.
He doesn't have to intentionally interfere with the catcher. If the catcher runs in, you see he's stepping across home plate too, and
That's the right call.
yeah, and at that point, that's a pretty easy call for home plate.
He might have made contact with his helmet, too.
But he clearly walks right in front of home plate as Cannon Peoples is making that throw.
I mean, you get any traffic, there'll be action right away in that Arkansas bullpen.
Strike three looking.
I kind of lulled him to sleep with the breaking balls, and Marin was out in first.
Do you think Woody's ever had cornrows?
It was a while ago.
Not
if
recently.
He did. I know the feeling.
Oh, he's the best. Keelan goes down swinging back-to-back Ks for Gibb. Pulled to the right side, right to the leather of Robinette. Gibler a perfect fifth, and it's all Arkansas.
Impressive offensive display from a team that can really run hitters at you 1 through 9.
Another K for A.J. Russell, his second. Well, Arkansas trying to get back to Omaha for the 12th time they've been. That is pretty good history. Chopper to short. Gavin Keelan, 2 down. Super Regional coverage continues tonight and tomorrow across ESPN.
In the draft.
Tosses the bat aside after a 2-out walk. You talked to him about comps of guys that played in your generation.
And defensively.
And he sends it to right field. Chapman has space. Only 2 SEC Players of the Year, but Golden Spikes Award winner just a. Pops it up to right field. Maxwell coming in. Robinette back there, and that one hits the turf. Just put it into no man's land. Couldn't have placed it better. And he drives it to center. Justin Thomas Jr. back. And a jump at the wall to haul it in. And Tony Vitello on earlier, and he mentioned the ball just wasn't really carrying today like it was yesterday. And there's a good example.
Well, again, you got to get it.
Popped it up. Thomas went back a moment ago. Now he's charging in.
Uh-oh.
And a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch by Aloy. One on and 2 out. The 2-2 to Chapman. Check swing. He went. And that ends any Tennessee threat in the 6th. Off the first. And he ropes this one into right field. Maxwell's got a grand slam. Now he's got a double. Pretty
bold. Might get you one of their hats, KP.
I'll wear it. It just says ugly.
Yeah, just walk around.
Hey, ugly. The infield is in for Tennessee, trailing by 6. And a chopper will hold the runner at third. Marin takes his time. 1 down. You ever try hitting bottle caps? Smoked up the box. First hit of the game for little brother, and he extends the Arkansas lead.
Well, the flags are out. They've been flying a whole lot these last 2 days. Kahio Aloy gives them something to stand up and get them.
For Arkansas, as many other of their portal additions have just made huge impacts. We talked about Cuyo coming over from BYU. You think about Logan Maxwell coming from TCU. You think about
Arkansas uniform. By the way, Nate's opportunity with this Arkansas program came just about 8 years ago when Tony Vitello took the Tennessee job. Nate was the hitting coach at Missouri State just up the road. That wild pitch.
Yet.
96 in on the thighs, and Arkansas has loaded the bases again.
He breaks down in Kansas City to get from here to Omaha. There'll be a whole lot of them to make that trip.
Bases loaded walk. Hogs have put a 9 spot on the board. 3rd straight walk from the Tennessee pitching staff. And the bases remain low.
Count. He's got to deliver something in the zone.
He doesn't. Fourth consecutive walk from this Tennessee pitching staff, and another.
And he's hitting a cool 337 on the season.
Chopper to short. Keelan kicks the bag, goes to first, and a 6-3 double play. Finally finishes the 7th. Not before the Hogs do more damage. It's a 9.
Today started the game. Now, it wasn't his best start. Ended up taking the loss, but pretty cool two-way story going on in Duke. And Kyle Johnson was the winning pitcher when they played Georgia in the 1-0 game of
3-2 pitch. Little nubber handled by Vahiva Aloy, and there's 2 down.
You like to ask me trivia questions. I'm going to ask you.
All right.
The most famous player in Duke baseball history? You know, up to 100 miles an hour. It's just a very diverse bullpen.
Here's Iredale. Aussie, 42 Wallaby Way. 1-2-3 frame. We head to the 8th. To short. Keelan's got him. Maxwell looking for another hit, and he's got a 3-knock afternoon. Hindsight is 2020. There will be questions as to whether or not Tony Vitello should have taken his ace out of the game.
Amy Arnold will all three probably be top 10 picks.
Arnold at Florida State, Anderson at LSU. Pop up to shallow left, racing back Keelan. Bargo coming on. Keelan makes a catch across the chalk. He's gotten out in the air 3 times today, and so he chops this one to Iredale just to make me look silly. Dug out by Fisher. Nice play over at first. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. Tennessee's got a couple more cracks. NCAA tournament game. The 15th team to hit that mark. So Keelan with the walk. Third in the country in long balls. And he gets a knock. First hit of the game.
And that's just one more chapter in an incredible season. What an at-bat.
Down there. Aloy scrambles for that one. 1 down.
First-round pick.
Down goes Bargo, and 2 down. Fought off into right field. Keelan will be pointed home by Josh Elander, and he'll score without a throw. It's an 8-run game.
Tennessee cashes on after getting the 2 guys on to start the inning. Dean Curley, if that's it.
Strike 3 looking. Volunteers scratch one across, but they leave 2 on, and the Arkansas fans can feel it. They are 3 outs away from returning to Omaha.
Pretty good day at the yard right there. 4 plate appearances, no outs recorded.
A little hop from Curley to handle that.
Fun that many.
This ball is belted to left center field. It is into the crowd and gone. First hit of the game for Brent Iredale is a tater. Got 14 of those this year now.
Just an exclamation point at this time. You've been waiting to do that.
Oh, the tater. Trying to run it in underneath his hands, and you talk about knowing you got one. Brent Iredale stand there and admire his work. A bomb to left center field. This crowd was looking for something, pay for school and all those. I think the players would rather have the opportunity to make a team.
Hot shot to Fisher. And 2 down.
And I know the coaches would rather the roster limits. Now,
Fly ball deep right field. Chapman settles underneath. And the last chance for Tennessee. Volunteers need 9 to tie.
Power. They're as complete as anybody. You add those things to a defense that's top 3 in the country from fielding percentage standpoint. A catcher that routinely steals strikes like that, which makes that
good to Newstrom. And it's Sent into left center field, 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and Newstrom motoring his way to second. One-two to Backus. Swing and a miss, and Arkansas is 1 out away from a return to the promised land. 2 to Abernathy. And it's crushed deep right field. Maxwell will watch it fly off the scoreboard. Abernathy shows some promise with a 2-run home run here in the 9th inning.
Well, that's a first one he'll never forget. How about the freshman coming off the bench and extending the game? First home run of his Tennessee career. Hanging split, KP?
Yep. I think
Something
it was a slider.
soft.
Yeah, it was a slider that just kind of came back in towards the barrel. But, yeah, no home runs on the season in a career. Tell that swing, and no doubt at the right that keeps this one going.
So the 5th straight pinch hitter in his team. And now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. They'll hear it from the hill to the hollers. Arkansas is headed back to Omaha. All business, no hog pile. Into the line for the Big Orange after a national championship last year, and they have what Arkansas wants.
And has a real chance at getting, too. I mean, you get an Arkansas team that I think so often during the season we said they're as good as anybody in the country. They showed it again this weekend. A little sloppy today, but I think understandable just based on the way that the game went. But a couple days off, then head about 6 hours north to Omaha, and a whole lot of them in red will be right behind them.
Yeah, and this is a team that has swept through the postseason. They've shown you the ability to shut people down with their pitching staff. They've shown